Okay, thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming. And special thanks to Senators Murray, our ranking member on appropriations, Merkley on budget, and Senator Hassan, your ranking member on something. JEC. So thank you for coming. Last night, President Trump plunged the country into chaos, a cruel, nasty, and illegal chaos. Without a shred of warning, the Trump administration announced a halt to virtually all federal grants and loans across the country. In an instant, with no precedent, no justification, no legal grounds, Donald Trump has shut off billions, perhaps trillions of dollars that help American families every single day. It's cruel. It's reckless. And this money supports states and cities, school boards, hospitals, small businesses, families, firefighters, police officers, fighting fentanyl. So many things just, boom, cut. Law enforcement, aid to the elderly, support for veterans. This decision is lawless, it's destructive, it's dangerous, it's cruel, it's illegal, and it's unconstitutional. Donald Trump has done a lot of bad things in the last week, but nothing's worse than this. It is nothing less than Project 2025 by another name. Maybe remember when Project 2025 came out during the campaign? Somehow the public found out about it. 60% of the people knew what it was, and they hated it. And yet this is the same thing in another name. Same types of slashes and things that hurt people. And who are they putting in charge? The chief cook and bottle washer of 2025, Russell Vought, to implement it. So you know what they're up to, and you know the American people hate it. People are scrambling in all of our states to figure out what it means. I've gotten hundreds of calls from everybody, Head Start, hospitals, firefighters. What does this mean? What does this mean? People are worried. People are in a panic about it. And many of our groups that get the money, whether they be governments or businesses or nonprofits, they have to make mortgage payments, they have to pay their staff, they have to keep operations running. What do you think when you've heard the funding is cut? So just about any organization, whether it's a school, a state, a police department, fire, hospital, that depends on federal grant money to run its day-to-day operations is now in danger. Thanks this morning, thanks to Donald Trump, health care for seniors and veterans is at risk. Thanks to Donald Trump, mass transit and workers getting to and from work will have a difficult time. Thanks to Donald Trump, there's new taxes for Americans everywhere, a new tax on active military duty and spouses. They totally eliminate the child tax credit, and they tax Social Security benefits. Hospitals and community health centers can't draw down any of their funds. They need it every day, to deal with people who have emergencies at hospitals. Head Start programs in New York have already begun to feel the impact. They're unable to access any funds. Some of them owe rent checks today. They don't have the money. This is cruel, and it affects everything everywhere. Republicans are quite literally defunding the police. And on all these things, we will not stand idly by. The blast radius of this terrible, unconstitutional, and illegal decision is virtually limitless. Its impacts are going to be felt over and over and over again by families, and we are already in touch with families and people throughout the country to mobilize them against this cruelty, this blatant assault on Americans. And American families should make no mistake, the money's been taken from them, will be spent. That money will be spent, but not on them, on the people at the very top who want tax cuts. It's cruelty and lawless, as I said. Does this cruel action hold down the price of your groceries? No, it'll probably raise it. Just yesterday, even before they did this, I was in upstate New York talking about funding to stop the scourge of bird flu because eggs are $6. You hold back the funding that farmers need to do that, price will go up higher. That's just one small instance of how much this affects things. So, no matter how much he believed, the President does not have the authority to ignore the law. I spoke to Tish James, our Attorney General in New York, and she is the head of the Attorneys General Association. They're filing a suit, and we're going to be joining them in other legal action. But it's not just going to be legal action. There's going to be action everywhere. Pressure on Republican House and Senate members to see if they support this stuff. Mobilization of people across the board, because this cannot stand. It's just awful. Patty. Got this.